Okay, so this is my favorite picture of my grandma with one of her grandchildren. And oh my gosh, such a beautiful, strong woman. She was just the nicest person in the world. And let's see, let me show you a picture of my grandpa. Okay, so that's a picture of my grandfather and all their children right there. So here's a picture of my grandma and my grandpa playing cards. Isn't that beautiful? In their kitchen. Oh man, I love that kitchen. Okay, this is Grandma's original recipe. When I wrote down, Grandma took me in her kitchen, showed me how to make this recipe, and I wrote it down. Now here's the new improved one, and you can see that. I'll kind of scroll down here, try to get the whole thing in, so you can copy that or do whatever. So now on to the pizza. Okay, so here's my grandmother Josephine Cancilla's recipe. We're going to make the pizza dough to start with. And so first of all, start with 1.5 cups of warm water. I'll let the water run a little bit. I actually like the water hot. The pan is a little bit cold, so it cools off a little bit in there. Okay, there's our water. 2 packages of yeast. Oh my gosh, spilled that on me. Okay, so this is Fleshman's yeast I'm using, rapid rise. Then I want 2 tablespoons of sugar. There's 1. There's 2. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You could also use Crisco. My grandmother used to use Crisco, but I use olive oil. There's 1. 2. So, and then salt is 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. Still some more oil in there. 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, so good. We're doing all right here. Now, we're going to mix that up. Then we're going to put in our flour. 4 cups of flour. So here I've got regular all-purpose enriched, bleached, pre-sifted flour. Put this in here and stir that up a little bit at a time. First you start out with a little, and you keep adding more and more.
So that's going to be it for this little whisker here. We've got kind of a white pancake batter right now. That goes in the sink, and the rest is going to be done with a wooden spoon. So I'm starting to mix up. Now it's 2 more cups. By the way, this is for a certain size pan. I should have showed you this before, but let me show you now.
Okay, so here's our pan. What we're going to do, this is about 11 by 16, I believe. No, 11 by 17 pan. That's what we're using for this recipe. All right? It's in here. Now you'll see as I mix this, it starts to pull away from the edges of the pan. Right now it's sticking to the pan, so I can keep adding more. As long as it's sticking to the edges of the of the bowl, I can keep adding more flour. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, so what I'm going to do here, give me some room here. Put some flour on my board here. Spread that around. Get some flour on my hands, because that's going to make, that's so the flour doesn't stick to my hands. I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to just kind of smash all that dough in there. Put some more dough flour on there. Yeah, this is kind of the fun part. You get to knead the dough. And so you just fold it, and we'll go slow here. So you fold it like this, bring it over here, and then you squish it out. So fold it, and yeah, almost all that flour is almost worked in there.
And so, when is kneading the dough enough?
I think it's ready. I think my dough's good. Look at that. Nice. Okay. All right, ready to go. And spread some olive oil on here. I've oiled the pan and put that in there. I'm going to squish it down. Now it's not going to squish down all at once. You can't. I'd like to get it over to the edges as much as possible, but it doesn't. See how it keeps springing back? So put a little flour in my hands there. And so what you have to do is you have to walk away from it for a little bit. Leave it alone for a couple minutes and then come back to it and spread it out some more. And take this outer skin off. You cut it just like an apple in half and put it down like that. Put this piece over here. And then you want to cut it so that you get it real thin. You want it thin so the onions will cook. And you want these like half moon shapes like this to come out. Any colored onion, just a nice yellow onion. Go back to our pizza here, put a little flour on our hands, and start spreading again. See, now it's easier to spread because you just let it set for a while and it becomes a little bit easier. Okay, so now I'm going to get to my cheese and start grating my cheese. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, next thing we go is, let's go with pepper. Just black pepper. I even get a good shot of this. That's kind of a lot of pepper. Pepper is a very spicy spice, actually a very hot spice, if you put it on in quantities, especially like this. Now, I'm going to use oregano. And I like a lot of oregano. I don't know how much this is in teaspoon wise, but kind of like that. Get a good look at it. That's what we want, oregano. Then chili powder, crushed red chili. Crushed red chili, you go light with that because that's really powerful stuff. People get a bite of that and they go, oh my gosh. Okay. All right, that's good. That's about what we want with the crushed red chili. Now the next step is onions. So we're going to put our onions all over the place here. And we just kind of break these tomatoes up and put them in there. I'm going to put the whole can on here. Let the juice just kind of fall out where it goes. Basil in them or anything. All you just need this regular off the shelf. Once we get all the toppings on, we're going to put this in the oven and let it rise. And let's see, here I'm going to put a little bit of this juice on here, from this tomato juice. Drizzle that on there. All right. And because then when we want to put it in a warm oven to let it rise. Small can of tomato sauce. Again, nothing fancy, just a store-bought brand. This tomato sauce around here. And don't put it in any one place too much, but just kind of all around, just kind of spread it out. I like to put it on the edges too. Okay, we're almost done here with the sauce here. Spread it out. The anchovies. This is the anchovy, original Sicilian style pizza. You want to break most of them in half. A few of them you can leave whole. You know, just like that. And what we do is we stick these in, and you poke them right into the dough. That's how it's done. I don't know why they do it this way, but this is the way they do it. Now I'm going to put it in. It's just going to be in a warm oven, and we're going to let it rise and come back to it. Okay, pizza is now oven is now preheated. I'm going to put the pizza in. The pizza has risen, and now it's going to go in the oven at 350, and it should be ready in about 30-35 minutes. We'll take a look at it in about 30 minutes. There we go. Pizza's been in the oven for about 30 minutes now. It's starting to get a little bit brown on the edges, and so that's when it's ready. You don't want it to get burnt, and then again you have to be real delicate with this, because you don't want the pizza to fall, because it can still fall. Pizza out here. Then you gotta let it cool for about a half an hour before you eat it. So there it is. And okay, one thing I forgot to do, and that's drizzle some oil on the pizza. So what you do is you take 3 handfuls of oil and you drizzle it on the pizza. Now you're supposed to do this before it goes in the oven, but I forgot, so I'm doing it after.
It's about, yeah, similar size.
All right, there's that pizza. How is it, Ivan?
It's great.
Good pizza.
Yeah, definitely. It's really
I
good.
love it, man.
Yeah.
Got that anchovies, just kind of bite you.
Mm-hmm.
It's rolling.
That's what I'm talking about. Is it on? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so